Yep, you know what time it is, man. This is, of course, your favorite channel, man, CTB. This is Chance Up Boxing. I am, of course, your boy, Jay Schley. So what up to him, man?
What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in.
Most definitely. You tune into, it's got a mixture show today, man. This is both a raw review and also a chin check, man. We about to rock y'all guys a chin with boxing news, boxing information, boxing rumors. And sometimes we give you some money in your pocket by giving you the odds of the fight. But right now, we want to talk about this weekend's card, man. To Fundor versus what's the name? Ocampo. There you go. Ocampo fight. It was a decent fight. I'm not gonna lie, but we really want to focus on the call outs of the main event and co-main event. What's his name? Carlos Adams, right? I think it's Carlos. Yeah, he called out the big Charlo, Jamel Charlo, and Fundora called out Lil Charlo, Jamel Charlo. So we want to see. I got two questions. We kind of want to see which one of those call outs are actually legit. That's question number one. Question number two, which one do you think PBC will move on first? That's question number two. And of course, question number three is, how do you think they will look against the Charlos? First question.
In my opinion, I'm gonna go with Adam, man. I think that PBC, if you look at how they normally market their fighters and how they normally move, Fundora and Charlo can be a huge fight. To me, Adams and Charlo is not a huge fight. And no matter how long you wait on it, that Fundora and the little Charlo fight, if you let it marinate a little bit longer, it could be a huge fight. Now, for us, the boxing fans, of course, it should be the next fight. He's a WBC mandatory. He should get the winner of Zoo and Charlo. But with politics and boxing, PBC is gonna let that fight marinate a little bit and try to make that a big pay-per-view fight. Now, as far as Adam, I think it'll be a good fight for Charlo because he's been at the ring for a long time. And Adam has had two common opponents. He looked better in his last fight, than Charlo looked with the same common opponent. Now they have a storyline. And I think Charlo, before he can get in the ring with a David Benavidez or a Plant or even a Canelo or a Triple G, he needs to get a tune-up fight because he's been out the ring too long. And I don't think Adam's a tune-up fight. I just think that he needs to get that level of opposition that knock some rust off, which I think that it ain't no given he can win that fight. But he needs to fight that guy before he can jump up to those other fights. So I would say Adams. I think that fight is pretty much already signed, sealed, and delivered. I think that'll be the next fight between them two, Fundor and Charlo. It would make sense to have that fight, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
I'm gonna be honest, y'all. If I'm TBC, I'm not putting Charlo in there with him right now, with Adams right now. But for two reasons. He hasn't fought in a long time, Charlo. He hasn't fought in a while. And to be honest, man, Adams is surging right now. He's on fire right now. I don't think you want to bring a cold Charlo in there with Adams. That's how you get upset, in my opinion. If you're trying to market Charlo at 160 with the Benavidez and all that, you kind of want another light touch. I hate to say it, man, because we ready to see Jamel in there with somebody of note. So it's kind of hard to say that. But he hasn't fought now in over a year now since he fought Montel, right? It's been a while since him and Montel fought.
Yeah. But I feel like, I agree with what you're saying. I just feel like Charlo, the big Charlo, is losing a lot of momentum, man. Like, he was on fire. He was the dude. He was bigger than his brother. And now his flame is kind of sizzling out. And Canelo, when he chooses the opponent, he chooses a guy he think he can beat, but also a guy he think he can sell a fight with. And right now, people ain't talking about Charlo and Triple G no more. They talking about him and David Benavidez now. Charlo names kind of went to the wayside because he's kind of sizzled out and he's not looked that great and he's been doing too many touch-up fights. So, I mean, I get where you're coming from. I can see it from both sides.
I'm gonna be honest, man. If I'm PBC, I'm chasing down a Triple G fight. A Triple G, I think the Zone said they're done with both Canelo and they're done with we gotta make a video about that also. They said they're done with both Canelo and they're done with Triple G. If that's true, then that means Canelo and Triple G are free agents. So if I'm PBC, I'm trying to get Triple G on the phone and try to see, Triple G looking for a cash-out fight anyway. Who's the next highest opponent after Canelo at 160? Of course, is Jamal Charlo. Jamal Charlo. So I'd much rather see him. It's gonna sound crazy as hell. I know it. But I'd much rather see Jamal Charlo fight Triple G coming off a Canelo loss than I'd rather see him fight Adams. I think Adams is in his prime and he's surging. And he's a puncher with both hands, and he looks super athletic. Charlo looked slow his last couple of fights, and I think he need to get that rust off. And to me, to kill two birds with one stone, you kind of want to get that name. I think Triple G got it. And you kind of want to let that rust off. I think he'll beat the shit out of Triple G at this point, in my opinion. So I think that's probably the route. If I'm PBC, man, that's the route I probably would take before I fight Adams. And then you'll fight Adams on the back end or something. But as far as Jamal and Fundora go, I agree with you, man. That fight will be a big fight in the future, in a pay-per-view fight. But I really don't think it need to be, you have to wait too much longer for it, for real. I think it's pay-per-view now. And you can put that motherfucker in Texas, bro. And I guarantee you that shit will sell out down this Cowboy Stadium right now. The Mexicans will pack the motherfucking house, even though he's a California, I know California Mexicans and Texas Mexicans kind of don't really vibe with each other. At the end of the day, he's still a Mexican. So they're gonna make that trip to see Fundora in Texas. And Jamel is blockbuster in Texas, man. He a blockbuster. Put the right fights on the card with him, man. That shit is gonna glow, dog. Maybe you can put Errol Spence Protege on that card, Frank Martin on that card. Is a co-main event. The way you know what I'm saying, you can get some shine off on him also, and that's a good ass fight, good card in Texas right there, in my opinion, right now today. So if I'm PBC, I'm leaning more towards that fight than I am with the Adams fight.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. It's just, like you said, I think he can sell now, but PBC is playing so safe now. It's like, yeah. I think they're at a state, because like you said, we don't know for sure, but the way they've been moving is like they do have some financial issues. So they done taking chances. They only want for sure. And I think it's gonna do well. I think that fight can do 250, 300,000 pay-per-views, I believe. But PBC is moving kind of scary, and they want the safe. So they may try to get him one more fight against older fighter that with a name, maybe like I said, Tony Harris or somebody with a name that can just push him right over the edge. But like you said, I think the fight is already cooked, man. I think it's been marinating. I think if he beat Tim Mizzou, that fight is cooked for a summertime Texas showdown.
Yeah, it's cooked already. I just hope they don't make the mistake of putting him in there with somebody like Danny Garcia. I think Danny Garcia is bad for Fundora. I know after Fundora beat Lubin, I was calling for that fight because I was like, man, I think he'll beat Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia come up and wait. But seeing how he fought Ocampo, I'm gonna be honest, bro. If Danny Garcia pop come up, he'd be more accustomed to the weight now. That'd be his second fight at the weight. I don't think Danny will take the fight, but I'm gonna be honest, I think Danny got a good chance of beating Ocampo, man. I think he has the size to push him back a little bit, and I think the height would probably be a problem for him because he's so much shorter than him. But if he land one of them looping ass hooks, man, I think he has a decent shot, more so than if Lubin knocked him down, I'm pretty sure Danny can knock him down, bro. I'm being honest. Ocampo, they say the whole fight, it was kind of weird to me watching the fight, because the whole fight they was trying to play on Ocampo's punching power and how much he used the punching power. I don't remember Ocampo having devastating punching power. PBC is really trying to put the market behind Fundora. And kind of how you said PBC playing it safe. Think about how they moving him. He pretty much went from fighting Lubin in a tough, hard-nosed fight, got knocked down, to now fighting a light touch right afterwards, fight with Ocampo, moving up in weight.
And what's the only reason why he got the Ocampo fight? Because Errol Spence's name is attached to it.
Errol Spence's name is attached to him, and they marking him as him making a mistake in the Errol Spence fight. Oh, I made a mistake. You got knocked out in the first round by Errol, and then you went 12 rounds with Fundora. It was so bad, yo. I gotta say this real quick. Did you see when the referees, not the referee, but the commission was trying to tell Ocampo that they were going to stop the fight because he was fighting too safe? You see that part? It was like the 10th round or something.
Yeah, they came on. Yeah.
The reason why I was going to make a rant video about it last night, but I fell asleep. The reason why they did that was because Fundora was supposed to knock out Ocampo. Mm-hmm. And when he couldn't knock him out because Ocampo was playing it safe and it was actually playing close to his chest, they were trying to make Ocampo go in there and be reckless. Like, we're going to stop the fight if you don't throw punches. They were trying to make him be so reckless that Fundora can get the easy knockout. I didn't like that part about the commission. It was too obvious what they was trying to do. Then I got to realize, man, Fundora is just not, I'm going to be honest, man, until I see him, he tried to box a little bit last night, but to me, him trying to box, it made him look more suspect, in my opinion. That jab, it's long, it's a long ass jab, but he drops it a lot. He makes mistakes with it a lot. and he's not comfortable with fighting that way. So I think him fighting somebody like a Tony Harrison, who has the outbox style, would be bad for him. Him fighting somebody like Danny Garcia, who can counterpunch him, be bad for him. So I don't know where that go from that.
I think you on to something. Like you said, I would like to see those fights, but like you said, I think they're gonna move him very safe because they know they have a big time pay-per-view fight between him and Charlo. So I don't think they're gonna put him in with a Tony Harrison or Danny Garcia. Like you said, Danny Garcia with those looping shots, he can catch him on the chin and hurt him. With Tony Harris, if I'm not believe, is like 6 feet tall, like 6 feet 6'1", around that range. So he kind of look height with him too. So he won't have the same height advantage, glaring height advantage like he had with other fighters. That's all Ocampo. If you look at like the last 4 rounds, he was gassed because he was tired of punching up. You know what I'm saying? So from him punching up all night, he kind of got gassed. But I thought Ocampo was pretty, decent game. But to me, it showed more holes in Fundora and that he's still a young and up and coming fighter that he still got a lot to work on. But like you said, man, like I'm a boxing fan first, man. So I think it's an entertaining fight. Him and Charlo, it cannot be entertaining. So I would love to see it. You know what I mean? And like I said, anybody that want to challenge themselves and go out there and push themselves, even if he's 23, 24 years old, man, hey, let's do it.
Man, I'm gonna be honest, man. I see his tall ass crumbling down when Charlo clip him though. I think Charlo
it could be devastating.
It could be devastating.
Paul Williams devastating.
Yeah, Paul Williams against Sergio Martinez. Yeah, it'd be a knockout like that. I see it, man. If he no matter what style he fight in, Charlo bad for him. Because if he try to outbox Charlo with that jab, Charlo coming on him. If he try to fight in the pocket with Charlo has the size and muscle that he can push Fundora's little skinny ass back and work on that body until Fundora win the box again. I think Charlo a bad style for him, man. He need to, like you said, he's too young. I don't think he'll ever be ready for Charlo. I think what he need to do and what PBC probably wind up doing is waiting till Charlo move up and then have him fight for vacant belts or some shit like that. Cause you put him in with Charlo, man. I'm gonna be honest, man. Charlo gonna ruin that dude. I'm being real. I think Charlo gonna ruin. I'm being honest. What about you think Adams have a good chance of ruling Big Charlo, Jamal? Or you think he just probably looked good because Montiel was washed?
I think is a guy to watch, man. I think he really is the goods. I ain't saying he's a superstar or elite fighter, but I think right now the Big Charlo is very vulnerable, man. I think that he's been out too long. He hasn't looked great his last couple fights. I think Ronnie Shields is a great trainer, but I think the time is up for him and Ronnie Shields. I think Ronnie Shields is taking him as far as he can take him, and I don't see much improvement in Charlo over his last 3 or 4 fights. That's why I think if you pay attention to his Instagram, his posts a lot, he been spending a lot of time in the camp with his brother when they ain't beefing, and with Derrick James, because I think he wants to make a move, and I think he needs something fresh to rejuvenate him, to get him back, to learn something new, to get him out of his slump. But I think he's a little too loyal to Ronnie Shields. I don't think he'll do it. But I think this is the perfect time for a guy like Adams to catch Charlo sleeping.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree with the Ronnie Shields point too, man. I think he should have left Ronnie Shields and went to Derrick James when Charlo the first Harrison fight. The controversial Harrison fight. Because that's when Charlo was looking at his peak, was getting to where he is now, and was actually he got outboxed a little bit, but then when he fought Harrison the second time, I think then Big Charlo should have made that move then. Because ever since then, he been looking, like you said, more and more vulnerable. If you trying to fight somebody like David Benavidez, man, you can't be fighting the way Ronnie Shields. You can't use that Ronnie Shields style, in my opinion. You got to be able to go in there and mix it up a little bit and know how to mix it up defensively, smart while you do it. You need to be smart while you do it. And like you said, Derrick James, man, his style seemed to be effective, man. Let's be honest. So he should make that trainer move.
And it's kind of crazy though how the roles have changed between those two. So when they first came in the game, the Big Charlo was the devastating puncher, and the little Charlo was the boxer, the guy that would pretty much out punch you. Now the little Charlo is the devastating puncher, and now the Big Charlo is the guy that want to win the 12-round fights and out punch you. So it's kind of telling.
Yeah, look, man, he fighting bigger fighters too. He at 160. Some of them guys are big, they bigger guys. They his size. When he was out at 154, you know what I'm saying? Charlo was always a little bit bigger than those dudes. Cause in my opinion, even though they twins, you can always see that he was slightly the bigger man. So you always knew that he was gonna move up first before Jamel did. But I just think the sitting down on their punches is the biggest difference though. Cause Derrick James teaches them how to sit down on their punches, while Rodney Shields teaches you to be, you be flat-footed a little bit, but you got to be ready for a counter punch. You got to be moving some lateral movement. You got to be able to catch him. Kind of how you caught what's the dude's name?
You're talking about J-Rock.
J-Rock, yeah, kind of how you caught J-Rock. He teaches you how to look for those type of shots, while Derrick James teaches you how to go in there and work. You know what I'm saying? You don't look for the knockout. You make the knockout happen for you. While, like I said, Rodney Shields, he kind of teach you to look for the knockout and wait for the knockout and counter punch. So that when you wait for a knockout, it don't come. But when you force it, like Jamel do, you bound to find that motherfucker if you get punched the way Jamel does. But yeah, I think that's what I add to this topic, man. This was a great back and forth.
Hey, we covered it all for right now.
Well, most definitely, man. With that being said, man, this is of course your favorite channel, man, CTB. This is Chin Tuck Boxing. I am, of course, your boy Jay Slay. Say peace to him, man.
All right, everybody, remember to hit the like button, subscribe, please, notification, and comment. You know why? Because we love boxing and you love boxing. But most of all, God, peace, and love, and we out of here. Take care.
Peace.